Sir.
Yes, thank you for coming, and I appreciate that comment you said about you're never too old to do something. That was on time.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, well, the question is, you mentioned trailblazing, right?
Yes.
And I was thinking, like, during your life, and when that period of trailblazing came in your spirit, like, what was that motivation to be that one, to walk that road that was not traveled?
Well, you gotta listen to the story.
Pardon?
No, I'm saying, if you listen to the story, you know, it's not like I was, I had this wisdom, you know, I just did it on a whim. The Rhodes Scholarship, hey, I'll throw in the application. The Apprentice, hey, I'll throw in the application. So I've actually learned, you know, kind of in a circuitous way, that all along I should have been thinking about, how can I blaze trails? You know, I kind of dropped into certain opportunities, you know, and I believe that that's part of the beauty of life at times, but there's also some missed opportunities at the same time. That if I had been more proactive, if I had embodied the very spirit of what I've described to you today, I'd be even further along. It took others to see something in me that I didn't see in myself. Do you follow me? But at the end of the day, nobody can show you your greatness. They can point to it, they can suggest that it's there, they can even encourage you to cultivate it, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to see it yourself for you to achieve the greatness that lies in all of us. And fortunately, people were placed in my life at different points, in different places, and different times to help me see and draw myself to it. You follow that?
I follow that.
Okay.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm currently a self-employed graduate student, and I graduate in 2 more semesters, and I didn't realize I wanted to be an entrepreneur until last summer.
Okay.
I read this David Bach book, and I was like, and it said, what do you want to do in the next 5 years? And that was on my list, but you said that you wanted to work for a corporation, and that's what I thought I wanted to do. I just wanted to ask, I don't want to ask a motivation question again, because I know other people ask that, but what kept that fear, you know, that spirit of fear out of you? Because I'm becoming fearful, and I know I want to start my company by the end of next year.
Well, I'll say 2 things. First, you know, one of the primary motivators for me has always been my mother. Despite the difficulties that I caused her, I see many of her traits and characteristics in me today. And I didn't mention, my mother worked 2 jobs to put me through college, to pay the bills, to put clothes on our back, food on the table, make sure we had a livelihood. And seeing my mother sacrifice the way that she did said to me, if the least I could do was take advantage of the opportunities that were given to me. I didn't even get into the turning point that I came to in college, from being that knucklehead to being this scholar, was really a function of seeing her sacrificing and not wanting to squander that sacrifice. So to your question, first, my mother kind of instilled in me, at least over time, what I developed to be a sense of confidence within myself. But, you know, when it comes to things like entrepreneurship and the fear that might hold you back, I can say to you nothing more than what Nike has been saying to us for years. Just do it. Just do it. I mean, I can say no more. I come across too many would-be entrepreneurs who have done everything. The planning, the analysis, they've thought about it, conceptualized it, have the name, have the website in their brains, but they don't want to make the next step. And in fact, when I interviewed entrepreneurs for Campus CEO, I came across that more than I expected. So I say to you, just do it. Because the worst thing that can happen is if you fail, you will learn and you'll be better equipped to try it again. That's the worst thing that can happen. The best thing is that you make it. So just do it.
Thank you, Ryan.
My husband and I have a business, and we've been in business for about 5 years, since we're 25 years old. And we were in a smaller town, a smaller area, and we learned a lot. Like you said, you know, you fail, you get up, and you try again. And one of the decisions that we chose to make was to expand to a larger area, a much larger area where we don't really have relationships the way we did with the smaller area. What would be the biggest piece of advice you would give us as business owners kind of going through this new uncharted territory?
I would say, first and foremost, network, 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 and network. No, I think I've tended to underestimate the value and the importance of networking. I mean, people say it's not what you know until you know. Yeah, it sounds good, but it's true. I mean, it is important what you know. Let's not diminish that. But you know, relationships drive a lot in business, and the more you're trying to accomplish, the more relationships matter. So I would say, discipline yourself. In the midst of all of what I know will be demanding on your time, you've got customers to meet with, you've got a product or a service to get out the door, you've got books to keep, you've got payroll to meet, you've got accounting to take care of, administrative tasks to accomplish, you've got all these things, a website to maintain, business cards to print, the list goes on. In the midst of all of that, discipline yourself to spending regular time just networking, out at social events, conferences, banquets, Richland County Public Library. Literally, because in Campus CEO, I must be going short in this answer, I'm talking about these 5 forms of capital for an entrepreneur. Financial capital, money. Human capital, knowledge. Intellectual capital, the synergy between your team that creates new ideas. Cultural capital, insight to a market, an opportunity, an industry. And 5th, social capital, relationships. What I argue is that social capital can be a proxy for any of the other 4. A relationship can get you money. A relationship can get you knowledge. A relationship can get you ideas. A relationship can get you insight. A relationship can get you all those things at your fingertips. So, network.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
All right, glad to be here.
The last question, let's make it good one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No pressure, no pressure.
Okay, thank you. I could really identify myself to a lot of your experiences, especially owning a business in your college dorm room. I did the same thing myself too. I was, doing my entrepreneurship spiritual thing, in college.
Good for you.
And I also own a cleaning franchise. I did prepaid legal. I own several businesses myself as well too, a mortgage company, a debt collection agency. And now I'm going into the field of real estate. I'm still doing mortgages, and I'm a licensed real estate agent. I've obtained my master's degree in business. And for me, my question to you is, I know you travel all over the country, maybe other countries as well too, and I understand that you have kids. How do you balance that out, with you going so much, raising your family?
Excuse me, I have a 1-year-old daughter. She just turned 1 2 weeks ago, Amira Leslie Pinkett, and her middle name is the name of my late father, Leslie Pinkett. And I have a wonderful wife, Zahara. She was on the show. I don't know if anyone saw her or remembers her. We had a reward where we were on a boat, and they surprised me by having her on the boat, and I almost cried. How was Boo Boo? Come on. So I have a great support structure in my wife, and it's clear. I mean, she was the one who encouraged me to even go on the show. It was her idea. I take no credit. And fortunately, I have a mother who's retired, so she's able to step in and help. But more importantly, I just have to set my priorities. I mean, I have pulled back on my travel schedule since my daughter was born so that I can be present. And I try to, whereas in the past I might go in, stay overnight, hang out, meet friends, whatever, bring my wife along, I'll get in and get out as quickly as I can now. So I can do a day trip to anywhere as far south as Atlanta, anywhere as far west as Chicago. I can do that in a day and be home before she goes to bed. So I've tried to make adjustments and in fact just say, look, I can't do everything that I used to do because I have to set priorities. And if I'm going to be there for my daughter, then that means I've got to be there for my daughter. And so, the whole time management thing to me is all about setting priorities. It's only 24 hours in a day, and I don't care how much money you have, you can't buy an extra hour. So make the best of it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. For their flexibility, and I apologize for my lateness. I hope the program is worth the wait. I look forward to meeting and greeting with all of you in the atrium and having a chance to meet and greet and sign books. But again, thank you for your patience. Thank you for this community for bringing me, and God bless you.